This is the Strait of Hormuz. The Strait of Hormuz basically affects the oil out export of these countries: Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, Kuwait. This is the only way they have out of the Persian Gulf. This is what the IRGC is holding hostage, and that's what's causing the problems. Now, the Houthis in Yemen are threatening to close Bab el-Mandab, which is a much bigger deal globally, because this is like 25% of the world's oil exports, just because a lot of oil is concentrated in this area. But this takes you into the Red Sea and into the Suez Canal, which is a man-made canal explicitly made to avoid having to circle all of Africa to get from East Asia to the Mediterranean and the West. So Europe, the Americas. And so if you close this off, except for Saudi Arabia, which can shift exports through here, anything you want to move from east to west or vice versa is now blocked. So this cannot be allowed to happen. And I think Israel should strike the Houthis for several reasons. One, we already know that the regime is scared shitless of Israel. And we know, we have seen that they're not going to come to the aid of their proxies. And if they were, great, we'll bomb the shit out of them. But we can bomb the Houthis for holding the Strait hostage. So we have like a casus belli. We have just cause for striking the Houthis. They're not a threat to Israel. They can throw missiles like in Israel. If you hear an alarm, you decide whether to go to the shelter by whether it's Iranian or Houthi. If it's Houthi, it's like, okay, I'm staying in bed. It's fundamentally not people like don't take the threat seriously. If it's from the IRGC, then yeah, people go to the shelter. So this is not a huge problem for Israel. Their ability to express force, to project force against Israel is very small. And they're already very weak. I think they're teetering on collapse, and we can take them over the edge. Now, what's the difference between the Houthis in Yemen, again, a proxy of the IRGC, and the IRGC in Iran? Why would this be much easier to take apart? Because Yemen has the one thing that we wish the Iranians would have, which is arms. So this is the map of Yemen. So somewhere in the mid 2010s. Oh, does it say Palestine? No, it says Israel. Oh, okay. It says Palestine on the West Bank. It's fine. If it's a neutral map, it has to. I don't. I was replying to this super chat by Omid. Thank you, Omid. When can we finally end effing Houthis? So this is the plan I suggested. It would, I think, end them. I'm not an expert on the internal stuff going on there, but just on like with napkin math and using some like heuristics, this looks like it could end them. The problem is they have mountains here, so that makes it more difficult to strike them. And so if this is where the Houthis controlled. So they had an election in the 2010s. The legitimate Yemenis government won, and it's Sunni, and it's a proxy of Saudi Arabia. And the Houthis rejected the results of the election and started a civil war. And that's what created the Saudi-Houthi war that lasted for several years and ended in an embarrassing tie. Embarrassing for Saudi Arabia. If we project force here and strike at their... Oh, this is cheeky. Okay, I'll talk about this in a second. This is from Al Jazeera, by the way. They did this. It's the best map I found, but there are some cheeky things here that I'll talk about in a second. They now control this after years of fighting. But their leadership is in hiding because of Israel. Israel made them go into hiding. And if Israel strikes them and creates pressure here, there are a lot of well-armed people over here that can go into this area and take over it. they're now under a ceasefire. That this can be this can be, if they're weak enough, this is taken care of. This is the arms that we want the Iranian people to have. They exist here, and we can take care of one of the proxies if we do a concentrated campaign against them. I don't know the munitions state, the state of the munitions. So that might be one thing holding us back. But other than that, I think this would be a very good move. Now, why did I say this is cheeky? Somalia, so there's Somaliland here, which is a separate country, and Somalia is the country that's breaking apart through civil war. Somaliland actually is a moderate Muslim country backed by UAE that has had several, that it has existed for over a decade, I think maybe over two, and it has had a orderly transfer of powers in a democracy with a majority Muslim country population. And Israel recently acknowledged its existence, and has turned it into an ally. So now Israel has some presence here that it can use to strike against the Houthis. I don't know if it's ready, the presence here, but we do have presence here. And that's another thing to take into account. Oh yeah, so Roman Viking saying Israel might strike Somaliland. Exactly. And this is, the Saudi-backed government could advance from south and east. Yes. And there's already an alternative government present. Also, all good points by Roman Viking. Okay, so let me know what you think of this idea.